The forests of Oregon whispered secrets on the wind. Ancient trees draped in moss stood like silent giants. Fog clung to the forest floor, thick and white as bone. This was Hollow Creek, a place whispered about but rarely visited. Legend told of a ghostly lantern that flickered among the trees. It was said to be held by the spirit of a miner, lost and searching for his way home. Many dismissed the story as an old wives' tale, but not everyone. Some locals, their faces etched with fear, spoke of seeing the lantern themselves. They told of a chilling cold that followed the light, a bone-deep chill that clung to you long after you left the woods. The legend particularly captivated the town's youth. They exchanged nervous glances when the story was told, a mixture of fear and fascination in their eyes. Among them were three friends, Clara, Jake, and Mia. They had grown up hearing the tale, each telling adding their own embellishments. This Halloween they decided to put the legend to rest. Clara, a pragmatic girl with a quick wit, scoffed at the idea of ghosts. Jake, ever the skeptic, was determined to prove the legend wrong, and Mia, though apprehensive, was swept up in their enthusiasm. They made a pact to venture into Hollow Creek to find the lantern and to expose the truth behind the chilling tale.
See nothing here but trees and fog.
Armed with flashlights and a healthy dose of bravado, they set out on Halloween night. The air was crisp and cold, the silence broken only by the crunch of leaves beneath their feet. As they entered the woods, the world outside seemed to melt away. The fog closed in around them, thick and disorienting. Clara led the way, her flashlight cutting a shaky beam through the darkness. Jake followed close behind, his eyes scanning the trees for any sign of movement. Mia trailed at the back, her heart pounding in her chest, a sense of unease settling over her.
See nothing here but trees and fog.
But his words were lost in the oppressive silence of the woods. Deeper they ventured, the fog growing thicker with every step. The trees, gnarled and ancient, loomed over them like skeletal fingers reaching out to grab them. The air grew colder, biting at their skin. Mia could feel her breath catching in her throat, her earlier excitement replaced by a growing sense of dread.
Are you sure this is the right way?
Clara consulted the map again, her brow furrowed in concentration.
Should be,
she muttered, her voice tight with uncertainty. Suddenly Jake stopped, his flashlight beam freezing on a point in the distance.
Look!
He hissed, his voice urgent. Clara and Mia followed his gaze. There, through the swirling mist, a faint light flickered. It was a pale, ethereal glow, like a firefly lost in the darkness.
The lantern,
she breathed, her voice a mix of awe and terror. The light seemed to beckon them forward, drawing them deeper into the heart of the forest. Clara, her initial skepticism shaken, felt a shiver run down her spine. The light was too eerie, too otherworldly. It was as if the forest itself was exhaling, the light a ghostly breath against the cold night air. They stood frozen for a moment, caught between curiosity and fear.
Let's get out of here,
she whispered, her voice trembling. But Jake, his eyes fixated on the light, was already moving towards it.
No way, we've come this far,
he said, his voice filled with a strange mix of excitement and trepidation. Clara hesitated for a moment, then followed Jake, her flashlight beam dancing nervously ahead of her. Mia, her heart pounding in her chest, had no choice but to follow. As they drew closer, the light grew brighter, illuminating the fog with an unnatural glow. And then, through the swirling mist, a figure began to emerge. It was tall and skeletal, its form barely discernible in the dim light. But clutched in its bony hand was a lantern, the source of the eerie glow. Mia gasped, her blood turning to ice. The figure turned towards them, its face obscured by shadow. And for the first time, Mia was truly afraid.